All right, it is time for Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Thank you very much for being here today with us. Text us Beer Me right now to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Beer Me is the key word, and one of you will win that gift certificate to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. That is a $50 gift card to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor with Beer of the Week. Text Beer Me to 780-218-9999. And joining us for Beer of the Week this week, Manual Labour Beer from Sherwood Park. Richard and I already forgot your name. I'm
Nicole.
sorry. Nicole.
Okay. You don't
Richard
need
and
to know.
Nicole. Okay, Richard and Nicole. Perfect. Okay, first of all, we're going to get into the My Wife's Red Ale, but tell us a little bit about the history of the brewery. How long have you guys been doing it, and where did the idea come from?
So the brewery's been open for almost 2 years now. It's kind of a retirement project for me. I'm an orthopedic surgeon by trade, and I left medicine and really needed something to do, and home brewing was my passion, something that I really loved. So Nicole wanted me to have something to do outside of
Stay busy.
Stay busy. So I pitched the idea to her. She was on board just because we were so involved in the craft beer scene and love craft beer so
So you
much.
guys were like fans of craft beer. You go to the beer shows and just try
Totally.
everything. And
Like plan holidays around breweries.
oh, no way.
Totally.
Oh, so you guys really liked craft beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nicole was a wine snob growing up, and then you know what? As soon as the craft beer scene changed in 2015, we realized that the complexity of craft beer rivaled or was even more than wine. So we kind of switched over.
Yeah. The market's kind of really exploded over the past, decade. Or when we started doing this,
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
pretty
it was
basic
really-
stuff. And
yeah.
now it's just kind
We've
of...
been doing this segment for over a decade.
Yeah.
And like it just has got taken to a whole new level,
Blossomed.
the whole industry over the last 10 years or so. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what we saw as well. We remember going to the very first
It was the Alberta Beer Festival.
at Ritchie,
Yeah.
the Ritchie ice rink outside, and there was only I think 6 breweries there. And to be honest, the product was
It was brand new.
interesting.
Yeah, be honest.
It's got to get it going. You guys said you've built vacations around craft beer. What have you done? Like, what do you?
I mean, our most recent one was a trip to the UK. So we flew into London, England, and basically spent our entire time in pubs. Like, we would just
Really?
drive around the back roads and find random pubs.
There's no shortage of those pubs
There's
over
no
there.
shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
So do you like try to take things back? Like, do you make notes along the trip?
Oh yeah, absolutely. These trips now are always
It's a business trip.
It's a
trip.
business trip, and
Yes.
it's about research. It's finding out what's being done in other places and finding out what you like and can bring back. So
What's been the biggest challenge for you guys? Being a married couple running a business. Quick. I was gonna say, sounds like it's going really smooth.
Actually, a lot of the breweries in Edmonton are owned and run by couples.
We've had a few of those, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are the details on the brewery again? Out in Sherwood Park, do you have like a tap room and stuff, or you just
Food and all
Okay.
that? or-
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a tap room that seats up to 50 people. So
Okay.
we've got a very cool vibe. We've got 4 pinball machines. So you guys are probably all about that, right?
pinball machines?
Pinball
Okay,
machines on
nice.
free
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
We play all the sports games and stuff upstairs. You guys can rent it out for private events.
Private events
and stuff like
and stuff?
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly. And so we've always got our beers on tap. We also try to have friends breweries on tap as well. So rotating beers throughout. We've got ciders there too. It's a lot of fun.
So you said you came from orthopedic surgery?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So like, does being a brewer give you the rush that might have given you? I mean, I don't know. It feels like such a different path now, you know?
Yeah, I would say that it does. It's very similar. What I would say is that the brewing process and making decent craft beer, good craft beer, is extremely complex, and it is this huge rabbit hole that you go down. And what I love about it is just the learning. The more you learn, the more you want to learn, and the more there is to learn.
How many beers do you guys have right now?
Right now we have 10
Yeah.
on the go right now. I think in the last 2 years we've done 36.
You
No way.
into the non-alcoholic game too, or is that something you've approached? Or
Yeah, we've been tinkering around with some non-alcoholic stuff, but it's pretty tough to come up with something that is
Actually, tastes
awesome.
good.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's
So-
been that's kind of the new thing now happening. As you're saying, the evolution of these places. That's
They're
a
trying to
lot more
find
thing
that,
now.
yeah.
Kinda not just have the O'Douls or whatever, but
Totally.
All right, well, tell us the story. We're going to try this one that you guys brought in. Tell us the story behind, and you know, this is really funny for us because we have a bit on this show.
Well, who was the
we've been
coach?
doing- It was Barry Hinson. His name was
yeah.
Barry Hinson, and he was a college basketball coach. And they had lost a game, and he came out to do a post game, and he was very angry with his players. And he was talking about rebounding. He goes, "My wife could have got 2 rebounds today because I know my wife." So anytime we mention our wives on the show, we always go, "My wife." So when I saw the email come in and it was for this "My Wife's Red Ale," I was like, "This is perfect for our
Highly
show."
coincidental. Yeah.
So whose idea was this one?
Well, it was my wife's idea.
Yeah.
And then it's a long, funny story. I love my wife. She's such a great human being. But
you.
when
This is great. I love these two.
But when it came to making this beer, I tell you, the ugliness came out.
Not physically.
No, but I'm not a big red ale fan, and I wasn't. And I was homebrewing at the time, and she said, "I want a red ale because I grew up on Rickard's Red. That's what I drank in college."
Rickard's Red was so popular back in
Yes.
college.
That was
my college bar,
That was
exactly.
that's as far as I would go down the craft beer thing. Like I was like, give me a Bud Light, give me a Coors Light. You know what? Give me a Rickard's Red.
Live a
Feeling
little
saucy
wild.
today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she said, "Here, make me a red ale," and I was like, "Well, okay." So I made a recipe and I put it together and I brought it to her and she gave me the big 2 thumbs down and said, "This is probably
Make me a
the
good
worst
red ale."
beer I've ever had. Do you even know what you're doing?"
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
I was like, "Wow, man, that's I've
don't
never
forget
heard
that
that
one
from her
either.
before."
I don't think it was those words exactly.
It was
Okay.
pretty close in my mind.
Try it
Paraphrasing,
again.
yeah.
Try it again. Yeah.
Yeah, tried again. So I went back to the drawing board, tried it again, came back, 2 thumbs down, 2 thumbs down, 2 thumbs down.
Jeez.
It was multiple iterations. And then finally, at about the 13th batch, which took me about a year and a half to come up with, she goes, "Oh man, I think you finally got it." And she gave me a little pat on the back, a bit of a hug, and said, "Yeah, I think this is it."
So is this going to taste just like Rickard's Red? Is that what this was going for?
But better.
You just got some Rickard's Red and poured it into a glass. Was like, try this.
Here, try this. Yeah.
At least I'm honest.
So what are we expecting here? What should we?
So I think that it's kind of a prototypical Irish red.
Okay.
It's got the
Great look to it.
roasted bitterness from roasted barley, but it's not overpowering. I think it's got a very nice fruity balance with the maltiness and super easy drinking.
All right. Well, let's cheers. Cheers. Hey, cheers to married couples.
Yeah,
Hey,
our
we're all
wives.
married.
Yeah.
Our wives. Cheers to my wife. Oh, yeah. Hey, you're right. There's a bit of fruitiness in there.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
like,
I love a good red ale, but that's a little different
This
than
is like
what I was
this
expecting.
is a smoother red ale.
Yeah.
That's what.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
really hard to do a good red ale because the important ingredient is the roasted barley, and it can come off really sort of tart and acidic.
Okay.
So this is a super.
Yeah, because I mean, like what you said, I'm not a big red ale, the Rickard's Red thing back in college and stuff, but this is really smooth. This is really good.
Well, thank you. That's what multiple beatings will do.
Get back in there and make me a red
You've
ale.
learned now, yeah.
That's exactly it.
The product of domestic violence.
What's your go-to? Like, what is this the most popular beer, or what's your? Do you have one that you would call a staple of your brewery, or?
So our top 2 sellers by far are always the Hey Guy Hazy, right? Everybody loves their hazy.
Yeah.
But it's particularly delicious.
The Hey Guy Hazy.
That's right. And then the second is the Trio Self Champagne Cider.
The treat yourself champagne cider.
That's right.
Not treat yourself.
Oh, treat
yourself.
Treat
Ah, a
yourself.
little attitude on that. Yeah.
Who's in charge of the names?
Most of the names are dumb shit that he says. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, you can say that here. We're not. Yeah. But,
Okay,
yeah.
dumb things that he says.
Yeah.
Treat Yourself came from a reference to Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
you
I
ever
haven't
watch
watched all of Parts of Rec.
Oh my gosh,
I like
that's a good
the
one, yeah.
ones I have watched, but I haven't like sat down and watched.
What's
it
your
all.
most outlandish drink? Like, do you have a beer that's kind of, shall we say, like unique to you guys in terms of either name or style or something you've just kind of gone off the path with?
Yeah, so we've done a couple of weird beers. Last year we did a lobster ale where we actually
Come on.
boiled lobsters in the kettle and then had a huge feast afterwards. And then this year we did a shrimp cocktail where we used horseradish, tomato
man.
paste, and shrimp
And shrimp.
to make it.
And that was
You
part of
sound
the-
like a doctor. Like that's pretty good
no
stuff.
big
Like,
deal.
yeah.
It was a bit of a science
So,
experiment. but
did you say a lobster?
lobster, yeah.
You'd be all over that.
Well, I just went down to Boston for that Four Nations hockey event, and I had a lobster roll for the first time. I'm not a big seafood guy. So did it actually taste like lobster?
Well, I'll tell you, when we first had it fermenting, it was fishy and disgusting.
Yeah.
But then for some reason that the fishiness really came out and you got a bit of a briny taste, but not much lobster.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds fun. Hey, you guys just come up, you sit down, and you're like, hey, we should try this. And then you just try it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
We have our year-round beers, but all the other ones, it's just an experiment. We're just being creative and having fun.
What do you like when you do like a seasonal, or because what you said, you have 10, but you've done 36. So for like those other 26 is like 1 or 2 batches, or do you actually?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay,
It's 1 or 2 batches.
Yeah.
And usually the beer will be out for 6 to 12 weeks.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. What's the address again of the breweries if people want to pop by? What do we?
The address is 510 280 Portage Close out in Sherwood Park.
Portage Close. That sounds fancy.
It's not fancy. It's
no.
an industrial complex right behind the Flying J trucker stop.
Well, you've seen our building. I mean, we're not fancy boys either, so it works out pretty well. Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot. We'll let you guys slide out, and then we'll wrap up the show here.
Thanks.
You got to check it out. Manual Labour. This is a really good red ale. I always get worried when somebody brings in, brown red ale, but this red ale is delicious. And the name is perfect. My wife. You know who would actually love this? And I'm not just saying this, but my wife would love this. She likes this stuff. This is pretty good. Trev, you have to grab one of these cans and try it, buddy.
I'm definitely gonna. It sounds amazing.
Hey,
I'm gonna come over right now.
Grab throw Trev a can there. One of the ones. So we have no lips to touch those. Is there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can try that, Trev. All right, text Beer Me right now to 780-218-9999. They're nice people.
Great.
That was a really fun conversation.
I want to work there.
Yeah. That's that's good. Put on one of these tubes
get a
right
tube
now.
on you.
There's blue tube here. Islanders Blue.
That seafood beer is scratching my itch.
I don't know if I could.
I tell you that. But you got to try it.
Yeah,
Like,
how
it's
about
kind of
this?
neat.
May I suggest a quick trade here?
No, you're not getting out of this. You're not.
I'll try
I
their
would say you take one of those drinks to wash it down, if anything. But
I'll try their seafood beer instead of the Prairie Oysters if the Oilers are behind both the Flames and Canucks at the end of the regular season. Come on. Let me have the trade.
You can't be squeezing out of this.
Let me make the deal.
While listening to Prairie Oysters.
Let a guy make a deal.
That remains.
780-218-9999. Beer Me will be the key word to get in the mix on that. If you're watching over on YouTube, that was a really fun conversation. They were great people. That was a good time.